Hello there, wonderful people. Happy New Year to everyone who chose January 1st to start measuring Earth's laps around the Sun. This would have been a great opportunity to look back at the past year and see how the development of my game Project Rebirth has been, but in a few months Project Rebirth will celebrate its first birthday, so I will postpone that until then. For today I just have another set of monthly updates for you, and I'm quite happy with all the new stuff I added. Some of the updates add new content, others simply make the world feel more alive. First, I want to thank all supporters that financially contribute to the game. The new influx of supporters generated some funds that allowed me to order a new batch of assets and buildings to add to the game. I asked on Discord what people would like to see first, and what came out of that was the desire to see more complex production chains. The thing you all wanted the most was to see how these more complicated chains would look like, so that's what I did. I ordered some more lovely artwork from Blueberry and added it to the game. Now you can grow grain on your fields, build a windmill to turn that grain into flour, and place a bakery to turn that flour into usable food. Give that baker some eggs, and your town can have all the birthday cakes it wants as well. In the future, I can also add a tavern, for example, that turns the grain into drinks. Also, the wool that your sheep produce can now be turned into clothes by the tailor. And for all these new resources and buildings, there are corresponding icons as well as assets for all the biomes. But as always, these new features introduce some new complexities for the code of the game. For example, what should the game do when there is not enough grain for the windmill, and as a result not enough flour for the bakery? Lacking resources can create this ripple effect throughout the entire production chain. To fix that, I made it possible for buildings to work at a certain percentage of their maximum capacity. This way, when a resource is starting to run out, all buildings that rely on that resource will automatically start to throttle their rates of production, and this effect propagates to other buildings as other resources start to run out as well. Oh, and I also made it so that you can set this production rate yourself, in case you want finer control over the production of individual buildings. These are not the only new assets in the game. I've also added a quarry and a clay pit, so you can start producing stone and clay yourself. And just like the fields, you can shape these mines to any size you need, making your town a lot more unique compared to just copy-pasting the same building over and over. Another new aesthetic makeover was given to the clouds. These used to be just a static image, and that was fine, but as soon as I added this layer, I imagined how nice it must be to see the clouds morph and wobble like you do in real life. I know at this scale you don't see them deform that fast, but I think it would just look nice. For a long time I was thinking about how to do this, maybe with a video overlay, but videos don't easily support transparency. Or I could cycle through a set of images, but that would take up a lot of memory and isn't that efficient. Because it really can't be too expensive on the CPU. Your CPU will be plenty busy with other things. I had thought about running some sort of morphing on the GPU using WebGL and shaders, but I had never done anything like that, so I postponed the idea until this month. I felt brave enough and finally gave it a shot. It worked surprisingly well, and within a few days I had this morphing effect applied to the actual cloud layer of the game. Do you like this effect? And finally, I have one more update for you. When you first start the game, you can place your town center anywhere on the planet. After that, you have a few square kilometers of territory to start building. Before you start commenting about it, yes, you can expand that territory while you're playing. It used to be that all buildings you place had to be within that area. But for sub-buildings, buildings that are part of another building, this area is still too large. If a building is a part of another building, the allowed area should be a closer region around the main building. So that's what I added as well. When you select a sub-building, the view will automatically update to show the area you can place it. Those were the major updates this month. I also added some smaller improvements, like the game being able to use all your CPU cores better, the minimap working as it should again, and some bridges not rendering properly. But that's it for now. I do release more updates in between these devlogs on my other socials, so check the link in the description to follow me there as well and to be the first to know of any new updates. Or become a supporter if you want to be even firster.